We are getting so close to the finale of Michelle's season of The Bachelorette, and fantasy suites are next. 3 men remain, and 1 has to go. So let's take a look at this newest preview for the Bachelorette Fantasy Suites, and remember, this contains footage of more than just next week's episode. So we'll be able to talk a bit about the finale too. And as per usual, even though we're right near the end, please no posting any blatant spoilers in the comment section unless it's been sleuthed out, and a link to the full preview is in the description.
I have 3 incredible men left.
I am crazy about you.
I've never had a feeling like when I kissed Nayte. He is soulmate material.
Okay, pause. Here is the big footage that we've used since the mid-season preview to mark Nayte down as final 2 material. 2 different swim trunks, 2 different dates in Mexico, with Michelle changing as well. Now, I guess it's remotely possible this is all from the same date, but I think that's far less likely than these being actually 2 different dates in Mexico, the final location for the season. And having 2 dates at this point would mean that 1 date is for Fantasy Suites, and 1 date is for the finale. Also, there's other strong evidence to suggest that Nayte's a final 2 guy later on, but before we continue, notice the name on the boat. It's the Michelle. Alright, let's keep going.
Joe's my slice of home.
I'm falling even more in love with you.
There's just something so special about our connection.
I'm kissing the most beautiful woman in the world. Does it get better than this?
Okay, and here with Brandon we have our other suspected final 2 guy using the same reasoning that we did with Nayte. 2 different outfits, 2 dates. We'll get a better look at the other outfit later on in the preview, but otherwise, we get additional footage of Joe and Michelle the morning after their fantasy suite. So all 3 men are going to be accepting their invitation to spend the evening with Michelle, and there won't be any breakup or drama shenanigans going on. We've seen Nayte the morning after here, and Joe the morning after here, and we'll see proof that Brandon heads up to the fantasy suite with Michelle right ahead.
I can see spending my life with Brandon.
This is tough for me. I've been so focused on my connection with Michelle that it wasn't until today that I realized I'm not the only one catching feelings for her.
Alright, pausing here just to point out that this is the proof of Brandon heading up to the fantasy suite with Michelle, as Nayte and Joe are both standing around watching the fireworks that set off at the end of his fantasy suite. In recent years, it's become a thing on the show that they keep the final 3 in the same location to up the drama as they're forced to watch each other come back the morning after their fantasy suites. Now, before on the show, they never saw each other until the rose ceremony, but this was added to squeeze out maximum drama, and funnily enough, the drama section of the preview is coming next.
When you're in love with 3 people, how do you know which person is your person?
I feel like went from bros to foes.
Do I think Nate's ready? No.
Well, apparently, Michelle is in love with 3 people. What is this, Clayton season? And the men are starting to turn on each other. We'll see how dramatic this actually gets. Something tells me it's all being pumped up a bit for the previews. But I do believe we are seeing the main storyline for the end of the season being set up in this moment with Brandon. Is Nayte ready? Brandon thinks no. Now, if it's true that the final 2 are indeed Brandon and Nayte, I think that what we're seeing set up is Michelle trying to choose between Brandon, the quote-unquote safe option who's been all in since meeting Michelle's parents on his first one-on-one, and Nayte, the guy whose own family said he wasn't ready to get engaged, but who I think she has better chemistry with. The safe option or the risk. Drama ensues. But let's keep going.
Brandon is a good guy, but I'm her guy.
That's my woman, that's my wife.
Oh, yeah. I want to let these guys know that's my girl.
My concern is that you would become a jealous person.
Okay, so in this section we get that other look at Brandon and Michelle's second date outfits that I was talking about earlier. We have 1 date here, and then 1 date here, plus another angle of this date here that shows Michelle's different swimsuit. But heading back to this shot, I know that Brandon's wearing the same blue trunks, but check out his shoes. White sneakers here, but in this shot, black sneakers. Not to mention in this shot, black shirt, chain necklace, then Brandon on the other date with a different necklace on. So further proof that these are 2 different dates, meaning Brandon is heading towards the finale, which just leaves Joe. And to further support the narrative of Nayte being the riskier pick and Brandon being the safer option, we have Ephraim, Michelle's dad, talking about one of the guys as being a jealous type. And that was edited in right after Nayte saying she's not your wife yet to Brandon, implying that it's Nayte that Ephraim's talking about, at least if the editing in this preview is to be believed. Moving on.
She has these feelings for you, and I just hope that they're the same.
I am very ready to get down on one knee.
I'm not sure you're 100% in.
Yup, the drama for the end of the season is looking more and more like a Brandon versus Nayte, safe versus risk decision. Or at least it's going to be edited that way. Also, Nayte sitting down with Michelle's mom is something that only happens in the final 2, so that alone should be proof that he makes it to the end. I guess they could bring Michelle's parents in for the final 3, but I honestly don't think they have time for that, with having to cover all 3 dates, the evening portion of the date, the fantasy suite, the morning afters, and the drama of the guys watching each other as they come back from their dates. Again, leaving Joe as the odd one out for elimination, which is why they put in a fake out at the beginning of this section, with Ephraim saying she has these feelings for you and I hope they're the same, and they cut to a shot of Joe. But Michelle's dad could be talking to anyone here. Nayte, Brandon, their family dog, Blake M crashing the date to shoot a shot, anyone. Unless we get a zoomed out shot like this one, we can't fully trust it. But let's continue.
That just changed everything. I could have stronger feelings for him than he does for me. I don't deserve to be constantly heartbroken.
Alright, pausing here cause we just slogged through another bunch of fake outs. First, with Michelle saying that just changed everything, after Michelle's mom said she's not sure Nayte is 100% in. But Michelle right here is actually in her outfit from the morning after her fantasy suite with Joe. Then we have Michelle saying I could have stronger feelings for him than he has for me, with a shot of Michelle in tears. But as you can see, she's in this green dress, the same one we've seen her in before from the previews, where she seems to have just eliminated someone at the final 3 rose ceremony. We'll actually see that footage again right ahead, so let's get to that.
Do you think I could talk to you?
And there's Michelle crying on a roadway in her rose ceremony dress as we see in this shot with Brandon, who wants to talk to her. Not sure what the context is here or if they're even trying to set up something like Brandon self-eliminating, but I don't think that's going to happen. All signs point to Joe being the one eliminated at the next rose ceremony. Also, mark what Joe is wearing this night, as well as Brandon right here, specifically his tie, and Nayte right here. We'll be referencing these outfits again in the section ahead.
I would be devastated if he decided he couldn't do this.
I found my forever person.
I don't want to let this woman go. I don't want her to let me go.
Alright, so in this section, we're primarily seeing the men dressing up and getting ready for the rose ceremony. Joe right here is, yup, in the same outfit. Brandon right here, check out the tie, same tie as the rose ceremony. Then we have Nayte in a completely different outfit. So this is probably Nayte getting ready for the final rose ceremony. Just more and more proof that he will be getting a rose. Maybe, at worst, it's him getting ready for his fantasy suite date. But let's continue on.
Falling in love is one thing, and engagement is another thing. Which of those are you ready for?
Okay, so in this section we're getting snippets of date footage with dramatic music, but the main fake out I want to address is this ring shot, as they go from this footage of Joe looking down to someone holding this ring. But take a look at this man's smooth hands here. Doesn't add up to Joe, because if you go back to this shot, you can see that Joe has hairy hands. Nah, it's actually something weird happening here, cause there are tons of other shots where Joe's hands are hairless. I don't know what's actually going on, maybe Joe forgot to shave his hands this day. But either way, this is still a fake out. Oh, and in this shot of Michelle saying love is one thing, engagement is another, which of those are you ready for? Check out the white shirt here, and then Nayte in this white shirt right here. I think it's from the same date. But okay, let's now finish off this preview. In And the preview ends with Michelle asking what is she doing. Sounds a lot more dramatic than it'll actually be. Probably it's something like, what am I doing getting engaged on a reality TV show after just a few weeks. Cause I am certain that Michelle will be getting engaged at the end of all this, due to the final rose ceremony fakeout that they put into the mid-season preview. Go check out that video if you want the details on my reasoning. So, to sum up, what does the end of this season look like? We have our final 3 with all men getting a fantasy suite. Joe then gets sent home. Oh, and to add to the evidence of Brandon making it in with Nayte to the final 2, in my last minute checks of footage for this video, I found 2 different evening date shots with Brandon in Mexico. One here, and one here from that mid-season preview. But back to the season outlook, in the finale, Brandon and Nayte meet Michelle's parents and have their final dates. The storyline becomes, is Nayte ready for an engagement? And I think Michelle decides to take the risk. And in the end, Nayte and Michelle get engaged. We all head into the Christmas break with a happy ending. So that's it for this Fantasy Suite preview breakdown for Michelle's season of The Bachelorette. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like and subscribe if you did. We'll see what happens with Michelle's final 3 on Tuesday. Yes, we're back to Tuesdays. So until then, Bachelor Fantake, out.
Do I think Nate's ready? No.
Brandon is a good guy, but I'm her guy.
I want to let these guys know that's my girl.